You are now listening to another episode of Thoughts Over Coffee Daily with your host, Anthony Cass Clark. This is a daily podcast documenting the thoughts of the everyday entrepreneur. Let's get into it. Good people of the world, what is up? I hope that all is well. All is well on this side. Let's go. So, I was on the internet, on Instagram, just scrolling my timeline, and came across this amazing message that touched my soul, reassured me, but also when reading, I said, man, this is going to be so helpful to so many different people, right? And this is by Fawn Weaver, I believe her name is. Excuse me if I mispronounced it. Fawn Weaver is the founder, I believe, of Uncle Nearest Whiskey, which is an incredible whiskey company. Check it out. Black owned, doing major things. Their branding, their story is amazing. So check them out. But anyway, checking it out, and she wrote this on her Instagram story. I want to share it with you because I know it touched me, so it has to touch you. So let's check it out. Let me pull it up. Give me a second. Here it is. All right. If you look at someone's life and think, wow, I want to live like that one day, there must be 3 honest questions that follow that stated desire. Here's the 3 questions. You guys ready? 1, am I willing to put in the work consistently, maybe even for decades, while reaping little reward? 2, am I willing to invest more than I consume and to keep investing what I earn? 3, am I willing to sacrifice everything I could have today for a greater payoff in the future? It's a great day to work harder and smarter than we've ever worked before. Let's go. Investments over consumption. So there's a few lessons in that text that she put on her Instagram story. There's a few lessons in there. There's a lesson about comparison, right? Oh, look at this person. Look what they're doing. Man, I'm going to tell you, comparison is a thief of joy. Seriously, that quote is so true, right? When you're someone like myself who's an entrepreneur, right? You're doing your own thing. You're trying to figure things out. And you look to your right, you look to your left, and you're looking at somebody who's doing what they're doing. They've been doing for 20 years. They look like they got everything in step. Everything's falling in place for them. They can get into any room, blah, 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 whatever. There's a reason for that. And sometimes the reason is not for you to know. Sometimes you just don't know, right? Like, and I'm not calling anyone who has made it or anyone who is ahead of you a scammer, but some people have scams going on, right? You may not know. You never know that. But there's a lot of people who have done really, really, really hard work, right? And they're just ahead of you because they just started then, right? Or maybe they made the right moves. They made the right decisions. Maybe they've been blessed, right, to be in a certain conversation. It happens. But that's none of your business. Listen, whenever you find yourself comparing yourself or your business to someone else's, say, that's none of my business, because you are in competition with yourself. You're in competition with who you were yesterday. If you did better today, then you did better last week. If you did better this month, then you did better last month. You are winning. No need to compare, because if you keep winning against yourself, eventually you will achieve your goals and you will get to where you're going. Plain and simple science, right? That's all it is. So that's one lesson within what she's saying. Stop comparing yourself. Comparing is a thief of joy. But when comparing, ask yourself 3 questions. Let's go back to the 3 questions here. Let's start with 1. This is so good, man. 1. Am I willing to put in the work consistently, maybe even for decades, while reaping little reward? Number 1 reminds me of something that happened to me a while ago. And I remember, I've never told this story before, but okay. So back in the day, 2010 days or whatever, 2010, something like that. There used to be something called the Best in Date Awards. And I remember every year they would happen. I forgot what DJ group used to put it on, but they used to put it on. And it was called Best in Date Awards. And they would hand out awards to the best hip hop artist, the best R&B artist, the best promoter, the best this and that, the best marketer, the best videographer, everything the best in date. Now, even though I am from Broward County, I wanted one of those awards so bad for my team that we had, my company, Smash Zoo, right? We were really present. We were everywhere doing video, photography. People knew us, all kinds of things. But we never won an award. And I remember one year they invited DJ Khaled out. And DJ Khaled was there, and he had won an award, of course, because he's DJ Khaled, right? Why wouldn't he? And he accepted the award. And I remember he got on stage, and he was saying, hey, listen, don't give up. Never stop. He said, I need you to pay attention to Rick Ross, right? And this is at the time where BMF had just dropped. And if you remember, if you were outside when BMF dropped, it had the streets on quake. I mean, you could not stop listening, hearing that song. It was in every club, every car, every radio station. BMF was it. Ross is at the height of his career. And I remember he said, look at Rick Ross. He said it took Ross 10 years to get to this point where he's had a super hit record. I mean, of course, he's had Hustlin', Magnificent. You can count all the records Rick Ross has had. But BMF was huge at the time. And he said it took him 10 years to get to this point. So never stop working. Just keep putting the work in. And it reminds me so much of what Fawn said on her Instagram. Am I willing to work? Am I willing to put in the work consistently? Maybe even for decades while reaping little reward. And the answer is 99% of the people are going to tell you no. What do you mean? Keep working, not seeing any reward. But I'm going to tell you who's going to say yes. Me. Because I live it. And I'll tell you more about how I'm living this too. So, I mean, Smash Zoo, for example, right? We ran for, I don't know how many years, 2009 to approximately like 2014, I believe. We made very little money. A lot of brand equity, like I said, a lot of sweat equity, a lot of life lessons learned, a lot of business lessons learned, but we didn't make any money. Went on, no money after that. Launched another business, no money. No money on my podcast that I launched before called Fourth Quarter Life. It was a lot of years of no money, but money was never my focus. Never. Now, money is a great side effect, but money is a side effect of value. You give value, most likely you will receive money. Say it again. Money is a side effect of value. You provide value, guess what's going to happen? You will eventually reap what you sow. But are you willing to go and sow those seeds, water those seeds? Are you willing to wait and keep working until you see that value? Now let's talk about number 2. Number 2 is super interesting. Am I willing to invest more than I consume and to keep investing what I earn? Now, this one can seem like another language to most people, simply because it is something that it's the total opposite of what we've been taught to do in life. And I'm going to speak from experience here. So I'm in a place right now where I have decided that I want my company to grow, right? We're not in a comfortable place. Like we lived in a place where it was comfortable, but I'm like, no, we need more. And in order to get more, I have to give more of my resources, give more of my time, give more of my money, right? So let's talk about it. Am I willing to invest more than I consume and to keep investing what I earn? So shout out to my wife, because this is a conversation that I've had to have with my wife, and thank God for an understanding wife who believes in me, who supports me, who goes to bat for me. Thank you. I appreciate her a ton because most people cannot understand this. Babe, listen, I know we were living a certain type of way, out to eat 4 or 5 times a week, doing our thing. Beautiful. But I have to scale back on that, and I have to invest more of my money into my business so we can get somewhere else later. And after having that conversation, she said, I get it. I understand. And that's what we've been doing, right? And it's not an easy thing. It sounds easy. To scale back your lifestyle, to stop consuming everything that you consume on a normal basis, to live a different type of lifestyle so you can invest more into your business, right? I have a team of, it always changes, but 7 people, I believe, at the moment. That's a weekly payroll that I have to pay. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy. Nowhere near my goals. So I have to minimize what I get paid, right? I'm talking about minimize so I can afford to grow my business, because I know if I grow my business, what I'm sacrificing today, I will make on the back end later, and it'll be totally worth it. So that's what we've been doing. It's not an easy decision, not easy at all. And I totally understand why most people would not want to do that. But reading this puts it in perspective for me and makes me realize that I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. This is just part of the steps. So let's talk about the next one. What do we have? Number 3. Am I willing to sacrifice everything I could have today for a greater payoff in the future? You don't think I want to be in Jamaica right now? You don't think I want to be in Tulum with everybody else right now? You don't think I want to be in Turks and Caicos right now? Bora Bora? The list goes on and on and on. But I could. If I went back to where I was before, I could take a trip. I could do that. Pack my wife up, pack my daughter up, and we out of here. But guess what? Right now, can't do it. Just not in a financially stable place to do that if I want to grow my business the way I want to grow it. So we're going to sacrifice what we could have today for what we want in the future, right? And I don't want to make this about me, because it's about my wife also. My wife, like I told you guys before, if you know, is an author. She's an educator. She's going for her master's. She's actually an education consultant, right? All those things, and the new mother, all those things are going on at once in my household. And I'm also a new husband, a new father, business owner, right? Scaling a business. It's like I have 2 kids at this point. So it's a lot going on. We are stressed. It's a lot of pressure on us as parents. A lot of pressure on as I guess you want to call us newlyweds. It's been a year. But we know that if we stick in there together, we work as a team, we support each other, we keep building, we'll eventually get to live the life that we want to live. And I'm talking about a life that we want to live. I'm talking about a life of opulence. A life of opulence. So when you see me in Turks and Caicos, when you see me in Tulum, and I got my toes out, and my shorts are way above my knees, just know I worked hard to get there. We worked hard to get there. Yeah. So that's number 3. So hashtag investments over consumption. So that's just back to the original point about comparison. Stop comparing to other people, because you never know what they had to go through. They may just be following these 3 steps. And if you're not considering following these 3 steps, I suggest that you stop looking. Because if you don't follow these 3 steps, you'll probably never get to where they're going to get, or where that person is that you want to get to. So check out Fawn Weaver. Check out Uncle Nearest. They don't support this podcast. They don't sponsor this podcast. But check them out. Good people from what I can see. Good. I love the product. Love their brand. This is such a blessing to me. So hopefully it blesses you. And if you want a screenshot of this, I can send it to you. Just shoot me a DM, let me know, and I'll send it right over. And of course, as always, please support this podcast. Subscribe, leave 5 stars, rate us, share us. If you see me post something, reply. Please, just let me know. Support the podcast. I appreciate you for listening. As always, thank you guys. Peace.